Hello and good morning. Uh, Currently walking in McRitchie Reservoir Park in Singapore. This park, as you can see here, has a trail through the forest, and that's what I'm doing right now. It's about 11.5 kilometers, and I have already walked about a kilometer just to warm up and get myself in the mood for a recording. This is going to be a one-shot deal. I'm not going to edit this video at all in post-production. It is what it is, and you are experiencing exactly what I'm doing, what I can see right now. So, if you don't know, McRitchie Reservoir Park, it is to the north of the Central District in Singapore. It's right in the middle of the island in what's called the Central Catchment Area. There's a big reservoir over to my left, and I'm just walking around it right now. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about what I do, why I walk and not kickbox or mountain climb or any of those other activities. I walk. I'm a walker. I'm a hiker. I write about what I do in my publication called Walk, Hike, Learn on Substack. I'll leave a link to that below in the description. But I want to try and answer a question that's often asked. Why do I walk? What's my value proposition? What's my sales pitch, if you like? And I'll try and explain those things as I'm going along. It's not easy to walk along and talk at the same time. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
And we'll see how it goes. Just got a couple of women ahead of me that I quite like to overtake. But anyway, so here's what I think. There are four major reasons or categories why I hike and why I do what I do. Of course, the first one that I'll talk about is physical. The second one is situational. The third is instructional. And the fourth is inspirational. So they're interrelated, not necessarily hard and fast categories, but let's start with the first one, the physical. So I walk and I hike because I need to exercise. It's as simple as that. And I need to try and keep as fit as possible. I need to look after myself. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and my health is important, and I need to look after myself. But I know my physical limitations. I can't do high impact activities anymore. I used to be a bit of a runner about 30 years ago. In fact, I completed the London Marathon in 1985, but I don't think I could do that now. I can't even run for the bus, so that would be hard. I don't have the flexibility in my legs and body anymore. But what I do know is this: I don't like gyms. I don't like being inside. I can't afford an expensive gym membership. So this is as good as it gets for me. walking, hiking. They're both relatively cheap activities. Of course, I've invested in some high quality equipment. For example, my shoes. Can you see those? And also, I've got a good backpack and a few other bits and pieces that I use along the trail. So it's relatively cheap, and as I'll tell you a bit later on, it's something that I enjoy doing. So that's the physical part for now. I need to keep looking down because this path is not exactly smooth. I don't want to trip over something. So I like the calm of being outside. I think there's something rather enchanting about putting one foot in front of another for a long period of time. I like that calm. I like that serenity. And apart from the few people that I'm passing along the way, I'm pretty much on my own. Getting out of breath already. Anyway, nothing high impact, but I think I can walk along for a fairly long stretch every day when I need to do that. And although I might not have big muscles, I think I have strong legs, and that keeps me going. And that's what I do, and that's what I enjoy. Okay. I've already touched on the situational arguments a little bit, but let me quickly elaborate. I like the challenge and the adventure of hiking in particular. Sometimes, I mean, today's not a good example, but sometimes I'm not quite sure which route to take, which path to follow. I just go with it, see where I end up. Sometimes I don't really know what my stopping point will be. I stop when I like to, when I want to, and that's good enough for me. So, challenge and adventure, they're both situational. I like the idea of being able to decide what I do for myself. The psychologists would call this self-determination, and I like the idea of being able to plan these activities for myself, do these activities largely by myself, set my own goals, and, if you like, direct my life in whatever ways I care to. I like that agency. I like that idea that I have, if you like, a little bit of control over what I do. So, the other thing I like is, let me just point the camera down again. See that? These are my footprints, and that's my shadow. That's what I'm doing. And I know that they are my footprints. I know that that is my shadow, and I like that. No one else needs to know necessarily what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, but I know why, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you today. So that's situational. The third aspect of what I do and why I do it is instructional. Um, not only is this me time that's important, but it's also gives me space to think about things and to reflect on my experiences both in the past and also right now in the present. So I can hear insects buzzing in the background, that high whistling sound. I can hear the crunching of my feet on this stony path as we go uphill. I'm here right now in the moment, and that is helping me to, if you like, appreciate this special moment, these special moments right now. So I'm in the moment. As I mentioned before, I have autonomy. I can do this on my own, and that peace and calmness is very important to me. I appreciate that very much, and I don't take this for granted at all. So, putting one foot in front of the other, it's a sustained activity. There is a certain amount of endurance that's involved, and that kind of like gets me into the moment even more deeply. But importantly, this is how I think I can self-improve. Now, that's a big claim, and I need to try and explain what I mean and justify it as far as possible. So, as I'm walking along, right now, I'm kind of thinking about a couple of things. I mean, obviously, I've got to keep this dialogue with you going, but there's also the opportunity for there to be an inner dialogue that I have, and that's the chance that I get to process many things as I'm going along. I'm trying to identify and I'm trying to identify and describe my emotions, my sensations, and that's a good thing to do. It keeps me alert and helps me understand, memorize, and on many occasions create as I'm going along. I also use this time to problem solve, and some of those problems are straightforward, but others are more complex, more open-ended, and I have recently finished a piece of writing about problem solving, and you can find that in my publication Walk, Hike, Learn on Substack, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. So let's think about the inspirational for a moment. Walking and hiking are things that not only do I like, but they're things that I look forward to tremendously. I like planning my walks in terms of where I'd like to go and what I'd like potentially to experience. But I look forward to doing what I do, and and that's a great motivator for me, because I need to look forward and live for doing something in the future. It's getting pretty muddy here. Look at that. It rained over the weekend quite heavily in Singapore, and so there are some puddles along the way, but most of the water, most of the rain from yesterday, it looks like that's been absorbed into the ground, and it's pretty soft going in places, but it's not particularly difficult on this stretch. Anyway, there's a lot of mud, or a potentially muddy area in about 4 or 5 kilometers time, but we'll cross that bridge, as it were, when we get to it. Okay, just need to sidestep there. Right, so back to the inspirational. So I like planning, as I said. I also like sharing what I do, and that's an important part that keeps me going. As you can see right now, I'm recording what I'm doing, and I will enjoy sharing this with you, because that's also something that I like doing, but also I think that is highly instructive for me, because as I'm walking along, I'm thinking about what I'm looking at, what I'm doing, and that helps me to stay in the moment, because what I choose to focus on is what I share, and it's my view of the world, and it's how I understand the world, by looking at it. Just coming up now to a distance marker, and I'll show that to you. So coming up to, there we are, 2.5 kilometers. I've got about another half a kilometer to go before we turn left and go down some steps and then back up the other way. So you can see that there are a group of girls just ahead, and we'll be overtaking them shortly. So I like sharing what I do through writing and multimedia. I like thinking about what those images will look like, what those words will say. That gives me a lot of motivation and hope that I can create something that makes sense for me and is entertaining for you. Okay, so back to the sharing. I believe that when ideas are shared, they are multiplied in ways that I can barely imagine. But if I kept all of this to myself, I don't think I would understand it, or even remember it, or even learn from it in the same way. So I appreciate your comments and your suggestions, because that helps me learn. Okay, let me just press ahead here, overtake this group. Hello, good morning. Thank you. Now, I need to be careful with what I claim, and I'm not saying that walking and hiking are the cause of self-improvement. I'm I'm not claiming that that would be a big thing to do, but walking and hiking can be a context, can be uh, a supporting activity for self-improvement if you wish and if you want it to. Oh, there are some steps here that have been recently added to this path. I don't want to fall down here. Let me just concentrate a little bit. Yeah, self-improvement can happen when you're walking and hiking, but that is not a necessarily causal association by any means. Before these steps were constructed here, this was a more interesting muddy descent coming this way, but it was a bit treacherous when there's a lot of mud and a lot of when it's raining. So I can understand why these have been put here. But this is the last one. And there we are. We're back on the trail. So for my part, I'm a walker, I'm a hiker, I am a learner, and I think those three things go together very well in my experience. This is how, if you ask me, who are you? I would answer, look, this is who I am, and this is what I do. This is how I represent myself, and it's also, thank you, it's also how I self-express. I like portraying this image, if you like, and it kind of makes sense to me, and I hope you can see that that is something that could make sense for you too. I'd like to inspire you. I'd like to bring you along on my journeys. We can walk together. Whoops. And we can do this together. So that's my value proposition, if you like. We can only do this together. As long as you are willing to participate, of course. That's the value proposition. And maybe I should have started with that 20 minutes ago, as opposed to getting to it now. But anyway, that's the way that I've chosen to order this. Final little bit. Going down these steps again. And then we'll go down here. And then I'll take you up the ascending staircase. And then we turn right, left. And that's when I will say goodbye to you for today. So, I hope that has been useful. I hope it helps you understand what I do and why I do it, and hopefully I can see you on future videos. I have some live streaming that I plan to do in Spain. I'll do that. We'll have a live stream every day, and I'm also going back to what I was saying earlier. Looking forward to doing that. But for now, I shall see you down the road at the end of this path, and it's been a pleasure uh, having a chat with you, and see you on the next one, as they say.